sitting in my bedroom with sweat running down my face.
Okay, so we're live right now.
Yes, we
Welcome to the
live.
Word of Action.
Oh, it just went off. What the heck going on?
I still see you.
You see me,
I
but I
can't.
don't.
I see you and I hear you.
Okay. I don't know what's happening here.
Can you hear everybody, Bruce?
Yeah, I hear you and Corey and Adrian.
All right. Well, we can all hear, so it must be something
All right.
on your computer.
Yeah, this computer acting up. I gotta figure it out. Sorry.
Okay.
Mark, give him a recap of what we were talking about, whatever.
Oh well, we was just kind of recapping on paranormal and some of the things that have happened to us, some of the things that happened to Adrian, and I was asking Adrian to tell us a little bit about herself. And so, Adrian, you want to tell yourself a little bit about yourself to Corey?
Sure. I'm 67. I'm a minister. I'm a doctor of divinity. So if your God is sick, send him to me. I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
I have been experiencing things my whole life. And I stopped being Christian when Christianity couldn't explain a lot of it. However, I still do believe that Jesus is the Son of God, so we're cool there.
Okay.
And I have been in a unique position where I've died more than once and come back. So that's kind of where I'm at with all of this stuff. And I have some
Yeah.
theories as to what ghosts are, if you're interested in those at some point.
Yeah, she was just telling us about her out of body experience that she had when she was younger,
Oh,
and
okay.
You want to give them a quick recap on that, and then you could tell us your theories on ghosts.
Sure. When I was 7, I caught all the childhood illnesses in a row, followed by measles, not the 3-day measles, but the real measles. And I was so sick. And I woke up one afternoon and I felt good. So I got out of bed and I walked over to the stairs, and something in the back of my head said, "You can float down those if you want to." So I just kind of like stepped off this top step and landed at the bottom. My mother was in the living room vacuuming, and she looked up and saw me, and I told her I'm going outside and play. She got this real funny look on her face, but I went outside and I was, just getting into let's see, what shall I do, when I was back in my body with my mother shaking me, telling me, don't you dare, come back here. Apparently I had died, and she shook me back to life.
Okay. Yes. I definitely believe that. I had similar experiences like that. So, I mean, it is.
What was it that happened with you, Corey?
Well, with me, I'll give you the most recent one was when I was at the gym working out.
Uh-huh.
And first, I just had this strange headache. It felt like it was bigger than the room I was in. So I kind of just went to a table, laid my head down, and it just kept pounding, getting bigger and bigger. I didn't know what was happening. So I went over to the treadmill and I said, let me check my um, pulse and everything.
Uh-huh.
Soon as I put my hands on the thing to check my pulse, I was out. I was gone. And then I hear people saying, he what's going on with him? Is he dying? He having a heart attack? He said my lips was turning blue, and while they was talking, I was actually out my body looking around to see who they was talking about.
Oh,
Until I looked down at myself and seen some lady trying to hold me from behind, hold me from falling, and I seen my wife and her sister kept saying, "Come on, Corey, don't die on us, don't die on us. We need you, we need you." And then at that instant, it's like I came back into my body, and
right.
I felt really drained, and so I
Being
believe
dead
that.
can drain you.
Yeah, I believe in that out of body experience for sure. And
Did you go to the hospital?
well, yeah, the gym made me go to the hospital. They checked everything out. They made sure it wasn't my heart. It wasn't my heart, and they really never gave me a legitimate explanation why that happened.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, at that time, I mean, 'cause when I blinked out, first it was like a darkness, but it was a peaceful darkness
Uh-huh.
until I started hearing people, responding to helping somebody. Then I realized, I looked down and I realized it was me standing
Mm.
over, like I was right over my body.
Right.
And I mean, I'm glad at that point that I didn't try to, because it's almost like something try to drift you away.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that kept me from drifting away was hear my wife's sister say something.
Right.
And yeah, and that kind of caught my attention and kind of put me back where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, they
Right.
say that if you have something that you have to do, or if you feel a need to do something, it'll draw you back.
Yeah. So I definitely got drawn back.
In Adrian's case, she came back because she thought her mother was gonna be mad at her.
Yeah,
Don't
see,
you dare! Don't you dare!
yeah, no matter what the case might be. Yeah, I mean, and then also,
But she was freaked right out, you know. Her
yeah,
daughter was getting to bed.
I guess that would freak me out too.
yeah,
So
that's it.
around to the lawn, yeah.
Could be a scary thing. So
People told me that I died when I had my leg broken that time in '84. They said that I was in ICU and
Uh-huh.
that my heart stopped and they had to bring me back, but I don't remember a thing about it.
Right.
mhm.
Well, you
So
were
I,
probably unconscious when it was happening, right?
I don't even know that. I was so in and out of it because of all the pain meds that I
Right.
remember 3 different times they kept waking me up to try and get me food, and I got mad at them because they woke me up 3 different times. And as it turned out, each of those times, and I didn't realize it till I got mad at them, and they told me each of those times was a different day. So I was
Wow.
waking up maybe one time each day to eat, and I wasn't eating each time I woke up, and they was trying to get me to eat. So
Right.
I have no recollection. So, some people recall stuff when that kind of thing happens, and some people don't. Who knows
Right.
why?
Well, yeah, that's it's definitely true. Like it's interesting when we went to visit my grandmother before she died,
Mm-hmm.
and she already knew that she was dying, and she kept saying she going home with Papa, which is her father that died years
Yeah.
ago because he lived to like 105.
Oh, okay.
And
Right.
so she's seen him evidently and says she's going home with him.
Mm.
So I do believe when you do that crossover, it will be a loved one somewhere, to help
Yep.
you
Where
make
you-
that crossover.
Yeah.
My dad, before he died, when he was getting
Basically,
dialysis,
to whatever.
he was like saying, "Is that my mother over there?" And I said, "What?" She goes, "Is that my mother over there?" And he thought he saw his mother sitting 2 seats over from us while he's on a dialysis machine. And, and that's when I starting to worry, because they say that's, you start seeing people that you that have long since passed, they start appearing and you start being able to see them. And he saw his mom several times before he died.
Well,
Yeah.
that's actually rather encouraging, I would think, that you know that there's something you're going to and there are people there you care about.
Right.
Yeah.
And for the fact that you can see them in their spiritual light,
Right.
you're not going to see their physical body. You're going to see them in their spiritual light, and you're going to know exactly who they are and exactly how they feel about you. Because
Mhm.
What happened?
Corey? I don't know.
You
Adrian,
there,
did you beat up Corey?
I heard him and then he just blipped out.
Yeah. You don't see his picture at all?
No picture on here. No picture.
Yeah, no, I don't see his picture either.
I'm not seeing anybody's picture.
He'll come back on in a
Oh,
second,
yeah,
I'm sure.
pop back in. Let me see.
But-
Hold on.
But I
Probably
always
right
wonder
there.
about dreams. That's what I wonder. Like that dream. I don't know I don't know if I told you about the dream I had because I only had it like last week sometime.
Oh, yeah,
And
the
I
recent
was,
dream?
yeah, and I know that it's something that is not a normal dream
Oh, okay.
because in the dream I was in a parking lot. There's people and other cars, and my dad is there, and he's sitting in a van, and he
Hey,
was asking me
okay.
about going to play golf. Hey, Corey's back.
Oh, now I'm gone again. My
Can
computer
you
is
hear us,
messing up.
Corey?
I can hear
Huh?
you, but my computer is glitching really bad. Probably
Oh,
because they've been popping up for me to put another warranty thing on it. And since
Hey,
Ah,
hey,
when I
Corey, he
didn't,
has a problem like I had a problem last week, huh?
well,
yeah.
it ain't gave me no problem until now. I mean,
Oh,
to today,
I don't think it's that topic we talking about there. I guess.
it must be. Yeah, it must be.
Maybe the
Nah, I'm about
ghost in
to
your
try
house
to go
didn't
ahead.
like it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's been pretty much known. There's some spirits around here. I mean, every family member seen something. Um,
Wow.
Yeah.
like say like last week, I was listening to my music sitting in this chair, and I fell asleep. And
What?
I mean, hard asleep. Some
What?
Right.
some. Are you kidding? It's messing up again.
What? I see you. I can hear you.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can hear you good.
y'all can see me.
I
Yeah.
can see you and hear you.
All right, I'm not getting no.
Oh,
Now you're
yeah.
gone. If you can hear us, well, you're gone. So, Adrian, why don't we take this moment? You tell us a little bit about your philosophy on the spirits.
Yeah, let's
Since
hear about
Corey was
that.
talking about spirits being in his place, what's
it
your
seems
philosophy
to
on
me
that?
that there is more than one type of ghost, if you will. I think that
Okay.
you have a situation of high drama and high emotion that imprints on the physical stuff around. And when somebody who is sensitive to that kind of energy gets into that situation, they perceive the echo, if you will, of what was going on kind of being rebroadcast from the physical stuff around them.
And then Corey comes back. He's like a
Yeah,
genie.
yeah. No, it must be the spirits in here. But like I was, I was saying, I fell asleep with her, and something tapped me on my chest twice, like this. Woke me up just in time before I fell, and I asked my wife, "Did she tap me?" She said no. Wasn't nobody else around, so I believe also in other than spirits, there's also good spirits out there, and there's evil spirits out there. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Because
mean,
somebody's dead doesn't make them good.
yeah, that's true.
What's
It's
what's that,
if,
Adrian? So just because somebody's dead, it doesn't make him good?
Right.
well, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you're right because if they're um if their inner being is evil, then they're gonna be evil. That's why they got a special place for people like that. Now, rather they try to stay on Earth and haunt the Earth in their deadly form, eventually they're gonna still have to come to a judgment time. So,
Right.
Right.
so I just say they want to be evil, let them be evil.
Yeah.
But if you got God on your side and angels watching over you, you don't have to worry about those things.
Right.
Right.
But when you think about just because somebody's dead doesn't make them good, think about somebody like Hitler. I am sure that Hitler did not suddenly go through some transformation and turn him into a good guy who regrets having killed all the Jews he killed, for example.
No, I see. That's the
No,
thing. There's evil,
he
and then
was
there's
Watch
mentally
out.
ill. So I don't
well.
know
Then
how.
there's
Uh-oh.
also
What's going on here?
a person that's already evil before they die because they already had their body taken over by a demon. So it's only
Okay.
one place. There's only one place for them to go because
Mark, you there?
they already sold
I'm
their
here. Can
soul.
you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yep,
Okay,
they
Bruce, are
already
you having problems?
Everybody there?
Yeah.
Bruce not moving. He must be frozen. Oh, there he moving.
Okay.
Can you hear us, Bruce?
Yeah, I hear y'all.
All
Oh,
right. All
man.
right.
Yep. So anyway, at some point he could have made a sacrifice his soul to do the things that the demon wanted him to do. So once
Now
he
Bruce is
died,
gone.
yep, now Bruce gone. So his soul have to go wherever that demon is at, and we both know where that's at. So I know I did see a couple of ghost stories where they claim that they was chasing after the spirit of Hitler, and I kind of
Really?
don't believe that one, but it could have been a demon perpetrating,
Right.
you know,
Pretending to be Hitler.
right? Because you got demons that perpetrate as children too,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
you know. Like I was telling y'all last time, that I don't believe that a child ghost could really be around. Most likely it's a
Bruce is back.
demon. Yep, most likely it's a demon pretending to be that
Right.
child.
And then there are the ghosts that are people who are trying to finish off their business that they still had when they were alive.
Right. Somebody,
Right.
if somebody have something that's strong in their soul to do, then their spirit can stay around and try to accomplish that. Or sometimes if you have a love for somebody, that love can be so strong that you're going to want to stay around them.
So the first
Yeah.
type of ghost that you mentioned, Adrian, that's residual. Then you're talking about just a regular ghost with a purpose, not
Right.
necessarily evil. So we got three
Right.
types right now: residual, evil, and then with a purpose, either being having to do something or with love. But what I was proposing last week that I had thought about, and I still don't quite know for certain as to whether or not all ghosts, every time that somebody hears anything about a ghost, could the entire web of stories and things be just something created by evil so as to sway people away from God in different ways? Because the way when you read like the Bible and you talk about God and you talk about stuff that's in the Bible, it doesn't take much before you're cast out. There's a straight and narrow, and it's got a lot of rules to it. And you step off the straight and narrow, and even if you don't think you meant to, you can be still cast out. So I'm wondering whether or not that's evil's plan, coming up with a whole wall of deceit and oh, hey, let's create this thing where the entire earth thinks that there's such things as ghosts that walk around, and we'll pretend to be those ghosts of their loved ones. We'll emit smells. We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll tell them stories and get them to believe this. And then just because they believe it, maybe God doesn't want to accept people. That's why I was asking, is there any mention of people becoming ghosts in the Bible?
Yeah, you did
Anyone?
mention that. You did mention that to me. I haven't found it again, but
Okay.
at the time I read something about that. I'm not sure how it was laid out to me, but it was speaking about people being in a spiritual form that can go from heaven back and forth from heaven to the earth. And the time period, I haven't figured out the time period. Was that something that happened and my computer go die again? Are you serious?
Oh boy. Telling you,
Something,
the spirits don't like some of the stuff we're talking about, I guess.
It must
Yeah,
be.
don't like that topic.
Yeah, must
We
be.
got a hot topic, y'all.
something that
So,
is
Adrian, you know anything about this? Do you know if there's any mention of it in the Bible?
something that is implied in the Bible is that there are ghosts and that people can conjure them. If you recall correctly, one of the kings of Israel went to the witch of Endor to have a prophet brought back to give him advice. And going to the witch to have her bring the prophet back was evil because it was against the rules. But it does say that ghosts do exist if you're looking at it from that perspective. And
Well,
it
are the
must
ghosts humans
Yeah.
though,
it
or should I say ex-humans?
apparently,
Yeah, because
and
they
it,
brought back.
and it also would imply that ghosts were not uncommon, that the king would go to a medium, the Witch of Endor, to get in contact with one.
Okay.
I mean, the Bible implies that ghosts are legitimate and are remains of humans.
Oh, really? Like I
Yeah.
said, I'm not familiar
Okay.
with the Bible enough to pull up a scripture that has some of that information, but it sounds like you have, Adrian. Would you know what
Okay.
scriptures that
Everybody.
part that was from?
Oh, now I hear
I'd have,
everybody talking double. I'm
Yes,
talking
so do I.
double. Oh
I'd
boy.
have to look it up.
Hold on, y'all.
Well, you got an echo going on?
On Corey's side. Now Corey's out. But you know what scripture that is, Adrian?
I'd have to look it up.
Okay.
I think it was King Saul. And
I
think
honestly don't know.
I think he wanted Elijah brought back, but
Okay.
I'd have to look it up, like I said.
Well, if he wanted that, then there would probably be at least some other experience prior to that, because otherwise he wouldn't. I mean, why would he think that it could be done if somebody else hadn't done it before him?
Well,
So there's
like,
probably something somewhere written about it.
the implication that it's not unusual, but that going to a witch and specifically asking for a particular person to be brought back for a particular purpose is not good.
Right.
Right. Well, it all depends on your definition of, brought back. Are you talking about flesh and blood? Or are you talking about just their spirit?
Their
So
spirit.
Most likely the spirits you're talking about, yeah.
yeah, flesh and blood. Then we start talking about zombies and voodoo and that sort of thing. But
Well, not necessarily, because Jesus brought several people back from the dead in the physical form.
okay,
Yeah.
I wonder how dead they were.
Dead enough to have been buried in a couple of circumstances.
Oh wow. Okay, didn't know that. You hear that, Bruce?
Yeah.
Lazarus.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lazarus, yeah.
He was buried.
He
Lazarus?
No, he wasn't buried.
wasn't
He
buried. He was wrapped in the shroud and all the rest of that stuff. They were ready to bury him.
And then
And
Jesus
God.
brought him back.
Hey, wait a minute here.
What's going on?
Corey, I don't know what's going on. It's Corey.
Corey
It's
came
Corey
back
week.
and then left again.
You heard me? It's Corey week. Last week was my week.
Oh.
All right, let me try to bring him back in again.
Hey, Bruce.
Wait, I can still hear you. Oh yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, it just seems
It
like
went out again.
it seems like everybody who has more than a cell phone is having technical difficulties.
Yeah, I might as well have to go back to my cell phone. I mean,
That's crazy.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go to the cell phone.
I'm on a cell phone, so whatever that's worth.
Yeah, that's what I mean, Adrian. Because I'm on my cell, you're on your cell, and
I'm on the
we're
computer.
not having any problems. But Corey and Bruce are not on cells, and they're having some difficulties here and there. That's all right. We'll figure it out one way or another.
We ain't get it together. We ain't get it.
We keep saying it and we keep trying.
When
And as
I
long as we
was
keep
young-
trying, eventually we'll do it.
When I was young and computers were first being introduced, they said that computers would solve all kinds of problems and make our lives easier. Well, the computers did solve all kinds of
That's a lie.
problems, but they brought all kinds of new ones.
Exactly. Problem solving just got multiplied.
Really.
I'm sorry, but I
Yeah.
don't like the idea of a house that tells me when to do my dishes and wash my clothes.
No, not gonna have anything like that. And lately, I've been having technical difficulty with everything. I have it with my phone. I have it with the TV. I was having it with Adrian, her roommate, Kat. I was having it with her TV and my phone
Mm.
because I got this Discovery Plus, and I figured out how to cast stuff to a TV set, and I can cast YouTube to my TV set. But Discovery Plus, I can't cast to anything. But I go over to their house, Bruce. I go over to Adrian's house. Her roommate Kat has a TV. I go to cast, and it says Kat's TV. And then I cast it to her TV, and you know what happens? Nothing.
Yeah.
It says it's connected, but we're looking at the
Okay.
TV, and there's nothing there.
Wow.
So I
Well-
got all sorts of technical problems going on.
Well, yeah, I'm back. My phone don't have Google Chrome, so
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can just do what I can do with this until I have it checked out, or fire up my other laptop. See something
Oh.
else popping on the screen now. It's like it's got.
Are you on your computer now or on your phone?
No, my
Yeah,
phone don't
well,
have.
computer.
My phone don't have Google Chrome. So I'm
Does
on.
your phone have Messenger?
Yeah, I got all that, but when I pop this up, it says I need, Google Chrome. See,
You
now-
know,
I'm doing it through Messenger.
Yeah, that's what I was doing it through.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm
See-
doing it through Messenger, but Messenger connects you through Google Chrome.
Yeah, but I don't have.
okay.
Yeah, I don't have that on my phone, so I got to put that on my phone. But in the meantime, it looked like my computer might have some kind of virus because the warranty thing had got off of it. I don't see why, because I only had it for like what? Oh, I guess it is going on about a year. Last of the year. Then after the year up, now I'm having problems.
Where did you get it at?
Huh? Oh, I got the computer from Walmart. It's a good computer. I got a HP,
Okay.
like my other HP that I have for like 8 or 9 years. It's still working, but I got so much stuff on it that basically they just want you to keep spending money to buy protection. So they cause
Yeah, they are.
There you go.
they cause your computer to glitch and stuff.
Yeah.
See, like my old computer, I had some guy used to call me on the phone. How you get my number? I see your laptop having problems. If you give me some information, I can fix it for you. Only going to cost $189.
Really?
I'm like, no, yeah, and I'm like, no, I don't have that kind of money. Then they kept going lower and lower and lower. I said, listen, I'm broke, and I'm gonna go. But
Wow.
but I had got to the point where I actually gave him access to my computer because I could see him moving the mouse on my computer, trying to show me what's wrong with it. And after that, that same person, it sounded like the same person. Hate to say it, but it was a voice from India,
Okay.
and
Oh no.
somehow they do a lot of scamming.
Yeah.
So I can't, really trust them too much. And my
They
computer
got
messed up
into
again.
everything on you then.
The
How long
two-
ago was that, Corey?
Yeah, that was last year.
Okay.
companies that I trust for security and cleaning
Oh, I've got
Are
the double voices.
CCleaner and Avast, AVAST. Avast Security, the free stuff, is perfectly fine and takes care of all my problems.
You said
Okay.
advanced security?
I have security through Avast, AVAST.
Hey, somebody write that down.
Okay. Well,
Martin, you got that?
yeah, it's on the podcast. I'll play it back when I want to hear it.
There you go. There you go. But I'm hearing echo again. So
yeah,
I
I'm
must
hearing
have
it too.
Yeah, I do.
so I must have
I hear
this
echo
up
too.
twice.
Yeah, you do somewhere. Let me see something.
Try
Get that out of there.
disconnecting altogether, Corey, then logging back in.
That's what I'm gonna do. So give me a minute, y'all.
All right.
Go ahead. You stay on.
Adrian, are you still there?
She's still here.
Okay, I just wanted to hear your voice echo too.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark,
Yeah.
he could have stayed on mute his mic.
Oh,
Am
you
I
muted his mic?
Yeah, because he was on here twice.
Ah,
muted
okay.
his
That's where
mic.
the echo came from then.
Yeah.
Am
I didn't
echoing?
realize that.
Huh?
Am I echoing?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you had him on there twice. That's where the echo. Well, he's gonna come back anyway. He's just logging out and logging in because that's what I did when I had the echo.
Yeah.
I did the same thing because I had logged in twice, I think, and it was picking up both of them.
Right. Yeah.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm doing it, please.
What's that?
Yeah. No. I didn't say no.
Oh, that's somebody talking in the background. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I'm trying not to sneeze. Hold on, y'all. Oh, I hate this. I feel a
Press
sneezing
on your
attack
upper
coming.
lip real hard.
What's that?
Press on your upper lip real hard.
I press on the
On the
bridge of my
side.
nose real hard.
On the side that you're trying to sneeze. If you press on your upper lip on the side that's trying to sneeze, it'll stop it.
Sometimes I put ice underneath
Hey,
there
I'm
or
back.
something cold, but usually I just squeeze the bridge of my nose, and that seems to work all right. It usually comes from me not breathing right. Sometimes my breathing gets too shallow. You know, like when people meditate
Right?
and they go into like a meditative state and they breathe real shallow. Sometimes I do that and I don't even realize I'm breathing that way. And my nose, they go, "Hey, wake up!" And it starts to feel like it's getting goose pimples inside your nose. That's when you know, oh my God, it's gonna blow.
I like that. Goose pimples in the middle, in the inside of your nose. I like that.
Yeah, well, that's the only way I can describe it. It happens way up in the bridge of your nose, and it's like, oh my God, and then poof. The only thing with me is, and you guys can attest to this. I'll go like 15 times sneezing continuously. Achoo, 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 achoo. Oh, Mark, stop it. I can't stop sneezing. Yeah, I've had a couple times like that. You guys have seen that.
Well, back in the Middle Ages, they used to believe that if you were sneezing, you were expelling evil spirits, which is where God bless you came from. Because the first time you sneeze, people say, God bless you.
That's why they say God bless you.
To keep the evil spirit from coming back. And if you sneeze,
That makes sense. Okay.
Makes sense, and I didn't know that one.
then
Right.
If every sneeze expelled an evil spirit, I must have had a boatload over my lifetime. Holy cow. Oh, man. Where were we now? We were talking about spirits, right?
yes,
Yeah, we're still talking about the spirits here, and
if the witch of Endor in the Bible was somebody that was commonly consulted, and other people like that obviously were around. She was the most famous, that's why the king went to her. It does imply that their belief is that there are ghosts.
Okay. So I guess if there were ghosts, and then it's suppose that there are ghosts and that the real ghosts are not all evil spirits trying to trick you. I was just
Right.
always baffled by the fact that, the soul is in everybody. Everybody has a soul, and it
Right.
doesn't look anything like what we're made of. So when you see a ghost, it should look like the soul, but I guess it doesn't.
Well, I would think that the ghost would have some control over how they appear, and rather than appearing in their spiritual light, if they want you to recognize them, they'll put on a appearance of the person that you would recognize, kind of like putting on a coat.
Okay. So I wonder, can they just trade up coats and put on any coat they want?
Sounds to me like it would be possible.
Okay. So, so if I became a ghost, even though Bruce is still alive, I could go ahead and make myself look like Bruce.
Probably.
Today, Bruce Fuller was robbing a bank over on.
No.
I suspect there are some safeguards on the other side to keep that from happening too much.
Hey, so
Right.
so can you change? So if you have an out of body experience, can you change coats? There's one.
Well,
Oh no, boy! Every time I tell you, the spirits don't like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're having an out of body experience, I would think that you would generally just wear your own appearance rather than somebody else's because that's what you're familiar with. That's what is most common to you, and it would be work to look like somebody else.
I know. I've read stories too about people who have had out of body experiences, and when they have them, they're like naked. They have no clothing, and they say that there's like a thing that comes from somewhere close to the belly button area. It's like a rope or a cord, and it's
all
like
the cord.
white, and it goes right straight to the body to them, and so they can only go out as far as that can go, and it stretches thinner and thinner the farther out they go from the body.
Right.
That's what I've heard. In several stories. Not every story, just several stories. Other people don't even report anything like that.
Right.
Hey, Corey's back. Woo!
yeah, I'm popping in and out. I see.
You little genie, you. Oh. Yeah, we were just talking about the out of body experience, and I was saying about some of the stories that I've heard about how there's a cord attachment, like a wire. I don't know, maybe not like a wire, just like a rope, I guess you could call it. And it's like comes from the belly button area generally and goes to the person's body, and they can go or whatever, and it kind of tethers them to their body, I guess.
It's not your time to go. They're not going to let that cord go too thin.
Yeah. So, Adrian, were there some other topics you wanted to touch on?
Well, the whole thing about talking about death experiences, it's not always the same either.
Right.
At one point in my early 20s, I was suicidal for a number of reasons. And
Okay.
I decided that I wanted to die, so I arranged for it to happen. I was using pills, not anything that would be a gunshot or anything like that. That's pretty, messy, if nothing else. And I got far enough over to the other side that there were these 7 people sitting up like judges at a Supreme Court. And they told me that if I died, that it was going to be a bad thing, a bad experience for me as well as the people left behind. And they told me I wasn't allowed to die and sent me back to my body.
Wow. Do you remember who these people were? What they looked like or anything?
They looked like you would expect a judge to look,
Okay.
authoritative and stern and,
Okay.
were
Well,
all
I didn't know if these people seemed familiar to you, or if you
No.
thought that they were anything particular, or
they weren't anybody I was familiar with.
okay.
And they were referred to as the judges of the dead. So,
Okay. That's how they refer to themselves?
yeah.
Okay.
So,
I've never heard of that.
Put that one in your pipe and smoke it.
I've never heard of anything quite like that, so I'm gonna not put that in my pipe.
But it does kind of make sense that there would be somebody to gatekeep if you have something you really need to do and you decide to commit suicide. That's not going to let it happen.
Okay, so then I suppose the same could. I wonder what would happen if somebody tried to kill you and you weren't supposed to die. Would you just come back anyway? The same kind of thing.
It's probably possible.
I mean,
I
yeah,
don't-
haven't you seen Ghosts?
I've seen
Oh yeah, yeah, but he never came back.
Well,
he never came back alive.
Well, not alive, no. I mean,
Yeah,
his spirit,
Adrian came back
his
alive.
spirit,
so-
his spirit stayed long enough to do what he had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that
I-
can happen.
I have an interesting ghost experience that my spouse and my mother-in-law and my grandmother-in-law were all sitting around the kitchen table one evening shooting the breeze and whatnot. And this woman came through the wall by one of the windows and she was very, very upset. The temperature in the room on the thermostat dropped 15 degrees. She came in and she was looking for her child. She was 250 years old looking for her child. And,
Oh, you
we
could tell by
told
the
her-
way she was dressed.
she was telling us this, that, she was looking for her child, and we could tell she was a colonial woman by the way she was dressed. And we
Right.
told her, your child has gone to the other side, and if you want to find your child, you're going to have to follow the light to find your baby. And she did, and never came back.
Wow. Wow, just like that.
Yeah.
I wonder how that. Well, I shouldn't say I wonder, but I mean, it must be that time is different for them. Like 250 years or whatever from the colonial age till now, that must take like a minute and a half. Because I mean, you got to ask yourself, what are they doing for all that time? Well, what is it they're doing? How is it that they're going that long, and not realizing, oh, hey, something's a little bit not right. I might be dead, or they must be. I don't know. Time must function differently for people in the spirit realm.
Well,
I don't know.
if you want to get involved in metaphysical stuff, time doesn't exist. It's a construct to make us comfortable with change. Change happens all the time, but we like it to be linear. This happens, and then that happens, and then that happens, rather than everything happening all at the same time.
Right.
Whereas to God, everything happens all at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, time really have no concept when you in the spiritual realm.
Right.
Right.
Because then you gotta. Okay. Well, then where does that place reincarnation?
Are you asking, is that true?
Well, I'm just saying. Well, if there is such a thing as reincarnation, and everything happens at the same time, then you would be multiple people at the same time.
I'll leave that to one of the mysteries that the Bible do talk about, different mysteries that some men shouldn't tap on at a certain time. So that might be one of them.
Okay. All right.
But as far as your bloodline, your spiritual line, certain people are. Now what's popping up on my?
people that have got
Okay.
group souls is connected together as a thing.
Yeah, certain souls that might be connected together from 100, 200, 500 years ago.
Okay.
Mhm.
But your soul, your spirit is still connected to that. And sometimes a person might be so in tune that they can sense that other person's life through their life and think that that was their life.
Uh-huh.
But it was, wasn't it?
That was their ancestor life, maybe.
Okay. All right.
And I'm saying that because I experienced that before. I experienced myself in a, and I keep having it like a dream. Wherever it is, it's like a big cliff, but it's like it's not really desert, but it's somewhere like maybe over in Africa or Egypt, and it takes place over 2,000 years ago,
Uh-huh.
like even before Jesus, because the people that was around me didn't have didn't know anything about Jesus and that he died on the cross. But all these people were gathered at this cliff, and then they would decide which one in the village have to jump off to be sacrificed so that they can get water or something, I believe. And I keep having the same dream where I was one of the people that had to jump off, sacrifice myself. And this keep replaying to me from time to time.
Wow.
I've had a couple dreams of different natures. That could be some sort of past thing that I've experienced, but I don't know. One of them was very realistic, I guess you could say, in the sense that, but it was like, it must have been like way back in like the before time, like what you were talking about, like way back when. And when people were still wearing just sandals and robes.
Yeah,
And
and animal skin and
yeah, well, it's past the animal skin, past the prehistoric.
Oh, okay.
But maybe before Jesus, but still, they were still clothed, still wearing regular clothes and robes and sandals and whatnot. So they had this on, and I was with these people, and there's this storm coming, and there's like this beach, and we knew what was about to happen. It was a tidal wave. And what happens is the water gets drawn away from the shore, so that what used to be partially underwater is now able to be seen. And it looks all dry and crackled because it's drawing the water out into the ocean. And so we were all thinking, well, that really big 200-foot wave is going to come down. Let's run and get closer to it, as close as we can get to it, and hold hands. And when it comes down, we won't be at the end of it. We'll be at the bottom of it, like at the base of it. Like if a wall were crumbling, instead of standing out there where the wall is going to fall on you from the top, we're standing at the base of the wall. So that was the logic, which, of course, that logic doesn't work. And, and the water came crushing down. I remember all of us being underwater, and we didn't get hit with the force of everything, but because of the force of everything, we were all down there. And I remember actually hearing the sound of the ground crunch when we stepped on the sand, I guess you call it, that was kind of crackled, that was cracked just before the water hit us. And when the water hit us, and I remember the guy next to me had on red. It was like a red robe, but it was like a maroon kind of red, and then white and sandals. And I remember hearing that crunch, that crackle, and then it came down, and we're all still holding hands, but because of the force of the water, we weren't able to come back up.
Right.
So we didn't get crushed by the wave. We just got held down by the power of the wave.
You just got drowned.
Pretty much.
Really?
Pretty much. And then, I woke up. But it was just like, I don't know. It's a weird feeling. It's like if you went downtown and you went to the tallest building downtown and stood right next to it, put your hand on it, and looked straight up. Now imagine that building being a wall of water.
Mm.
That's what it was like. And then it just, whew. So I had a dream like that, and I have no idea where that dream came from. Because I've never had a dream where people are wearing sandals and robes and stuff like that, looking like Noah or something. I've
Well,
never had a dream like that.
well, here goes something that's also kind of strange. My father died in a car accident in Pennsylvania, went off the bridge and down into the water, and all three of them drowned. And so I'll be having a recurring dream of being underwater in a car, trapped, trying to get out.
Wow. Yeah.
And I can almost identify the car. The other two people in front of me is like they died before I did.
Yeah.
And my father was a Marine, and he didn't survive that. He was only 27 when he died.
He might have been unconscious when the car hit the water.
Yeah, but then I realized my son was talking one day, and he had the exact same dream that I had.
Wow.
So so somehow that was some kind of connection or whatnot. But this dreams pop up every now and then.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and I
there's
was-
others that say it's a dream from Atlantis.
Dreams from Atlantis. Yeah, well, it could have been because I don't know where I was in that dream. But I also had a dream, like I was saying earlier, about my father, and it was like a parking lot. But this dream was eerie. Not eerie, it was just different. Because I went over to my father, and we were talking about golf, and he was asking me, if I wanted to play. And I said, oh, no, he was asking me about coming out with him for golf. And I said, well, will I get to play? And he said, well, maybe a little. I said, well, you could take your little. And I started walking away. But here's the thing. There was a guy standing right next to me that I don't know, that every now and again my father would glance at in the dream. And my father's sitting in his vehicle and on the driver's side, obviously. And I looked down and the tire on his vehicle was flat, which was kind of weird. But there was this guy that was standing to the left of me. He never says anything. But every time I try to look at him, it's like I can't focus on it. You ever look at something and it's out of focus? You want to put glasses on?
Yeah.
Every time I try to look at him, that's how his face would appear. I couldn't quite make out his face, his features. And the best I could make out that he was maybe light-skinned black or a very tan white person, maybe Hispanic. That's about all I could tell you. And as I was walking through, it looked like a tunnel, like when they come out of the tunnel for football. It looked like one of those tunnels, and then it comes out into a parking lot. And then while we're talking about this, me and my dad, the lights turn on in the parking lot because now it's suddenly dusk, and the lights turn on. And I had started walking away, and that was the end of the dream. But I've had dreams before with my dad in them. I started having dreams years ago that were really bizarre, and I remember this one because for whatever reason, I was waiting on my entire family, but it looked like it was in a library, and I'm waiting on them, trying to make sure I got everything set up for all of them, make sure everything's good, and I saw a few friends in there and everything. Now everything is like this; it's all good, but once I woke up, all those people that I remembered in the dream, I don't know who they were. But in my dream, they were my family. They were my uncles. And I only recognized 3 faces. I think William was in it. My friend Eddie was in it, who me and William both know. And for whatever reason, my Uncle Roy. And Uncle Roy, who's always talkative, was just sitting there smiling at me the whole dream. And, and it's kind of weird. By the way, when I had that, my Uncle Roy was dead. He had already been long since dead. So it was like weird having a dream about people that and you can remember your background. You can remember all about your character in the dream, his background, the people. You can remember history of people, just like you remember your past now. I can remember the past of the characters in my dream, but then I wake up and it's like I don't know any of them. I never had any of that. It's just kind of weird. I have no idea what that means.
Well, there's all different types of dreams. Since we can get on a little subject about dreams, and sometimes dreams can be visions. Sometimes dreams can be warnings.
Yeah.
Or sometimes dreams can even be a life that you should be in, but you're not in because of a decision you made.
Like the decision the computer made to get Corey out of that conversation. You see how that computer does? I think Bruce. Hey, Bruce, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now, Bruce?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know. I think Corey's about to throw his computer against the wall. Maybe on the floor and stomp on it in a minute. But
If it doesn't work, get a pair of hammers.
like somebody told me before, the wall reset. Throw it against the wall, reset. But dreams is a topic, we should probably cover that one a bit more intently too. Well, what did you think about the dream that I mentioned, Adrian?
It seems to me that people dream of past lives a lot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think it's trying to remind you of a lesson that you learned before that would be helpful now.
Okay. That's an interesting take on it. Hey, Corey, welcome back, sir.
Yeah, I know I popped out again.
I told everybody Corey's probably throwing his computer against the wall.
Oh, no, me. I'll take it back to Walmart in a second.
Take it back to Walmart and throw it through the window when you get there.
I don't think that's exactly how returns are supposed to work, but hey, it's satisfying.
But I returned it.
But I'm gonna look into what's going on with this tomorrow. It might be something that I have to purchase. I don't know, but
All right.
can't have it glitching every 5 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to. Sometimes you might just have to reboot it to get all that stuff out. So
Yeah.
because when you on the internet got so much coming through it, bad stuff, good stuff, and I don't know why there's people out there that even do things like this to try to get money,
evil.
try to get money from it. Yeah,
Yeah.
evil it is.
They're evil.
Yeah, evil it is.
Why are they evil? They're called bill collectors.
But yeah, dreams can mean
That too.
dreams can mean all kind of things, So
Yeah.
like I said, I have so many different types of dream, but they all mean something at a point.
Yeah.
Like she was saying, it could be a past life dream that come to warn you about something, maybe a direction you're going in.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Up on.
Or
Boy, that
interpersonal
computer.
relationships that you're having problems with somebody now, and you dream about a problem that you had with them before in another life, and it gives you suggestions as to what might help fix the problem now.
I had reoccurring dreams, but each dream was a little bit different, but it had a similar character in it. And a couple times I was like with my sister. One time I was by myself, but it was this guy, and he's like dressed in black, and he's running after me, but he can't. He's like running, but he's like dragging his foot, and he's holding his hand. I can't make out his face, but he's following me, and no matter where I go, he always seems to be right behind me. And then the last dream I had of this character doing that, I was I had managed to get all the way home, and this is back when I used to stay at the Gateway, and I used to have the big steel doors. And I managed to get home and shut the door behind me, and I'm sitting on the sofa. This is all in a dream. And all of a sudden I hear a boom, boom, boom. And he says my name, and the door just falls straight down. Well, it took me years to figure out what that dream meant. Huh?
That's not helpful.
No, but it took me years to figure out what that dream meant. And eventually I figured it out, that the guy that was coming after me was me. It was my destiny, because now I walk just like him. I got messed up knees, messed up leg,
Oh, wow.
broke my arm. So I walk just like him now. So it was just destiny coming after me.
So you saw your future, huh?
So
pretty much.
you got a visit from Approacher Mark, huh?
Yeah, well, that was back in the, back when I used to stay at the Gateway. That was in the 70s and 80s.
80s, yeah.
Yeah, and then I broke my leg in 84, broke my arm in 91 or 92. You know, he did have a scar on his face, but hopefully I don't have any scars coming up. You know, don't want to have that.
That could be the emotions manifesting as a scar. Do you feel that this has scarred you somehow?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's changed everything. So, I mean, that's a definite scar. But you know something really weird? And me and my dad used to talk about this. I have all the same scars as my dad did. Like, he had his knee messed up, so he's got a same scar on his knee as what I got. He has a scar on his right arm, but his was from a burn, so it's a different type of scar. But our baby fingers on our right hand, you know, how it's all like that, it's all messed up and everything. Well, he had the exact same finger on the exact same hand from an incident that happened to him. It's kind of weird. So I don't know if I'm going to be going through his life and the stuff that he went through, but somehow I end up having all the same kind of injuries that he went through. So if I'm following my father's footsteps, then the next thing is, a couple dozen major heart attacks.
Oh,
But
Lord.
I haven't been smoking for 40 years like my dad, so. What's that?
I said, let's just skip that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm good like that. I'll take that. We'll skip. Sure, not a problem. But hopefully I'm not following in his footsteps along those lines. But I just thought that was really strange. I got all the same scars as my dad had.
Yeah.
But anyway, my dreams are always kind of weird, out there, bizarre. And somebody once told me, when I went to one of those psychic shows and I told them about it, I just wanted to hear what they would have to say. You know what they told me? They said, you're having out-of-body experiences and traveling to different universes. What do you say to that? You can't say no. You can't say, okay, yeah. I don't know what to say to that. You know, the only thing I can remember is that I said was, well, how do I stop that from happening? And she didn't really have an answer for me. So, oh, I don't know. It was one of those shows, you know, you get a reading and everything, you know.
I do. How much you pay her?
I wish I could remember. It was years ago.
Can't trust all those psychics like that.
No, well, I go through and go with the one I think has the best odds at being decent, real. Because some of them you look at and it's like, yeah, no. You're not real. Other ones I'm like, okay, I got a good vibe. They seem like a nice person. You start talking to them, everything's good. Good conversation, just saying hello, asking a few questions. And then it's like, okay, yeah, we'll go with this one. It's usually like $20 or something, you know, nothing extravagant or anything. So that was a long time ago. But that was because I was having, like I said, bizarre dream. Like, I'm in a container with a bunch of people, and these demons are trying to get in from the outside, but they're not normal demons, and it's not a normal kind of thing. It looks like one of those containers that's from a shipyard, right? Big metal things,
Uh-huh.
but they're all strapped together to make like corridors and rooms. And we had to say a prayer
Right.
over every little nook and cranny because otherwise the demon can get in. But here's the thing, the demon that gets in, it's not like a normal demon where it comes over and scares you and tortures you. It actually goes into your body, but your body can't hold on to it. And within seconds after it goes into your body kind of explodes. So you'll be with a group of people, and then boom, the guy next to you, poof, just a bunch of blood just blasting out everywhere. And then you start running to get to a different room to say a prayer over all the nooks and crannies so it can't get through. And then some more people, poof, poof, poof. So, and as soon as the demon gets in you and you explode, there's this thing standing there for a millisecond that looks like a fly turned inside out or something. Huge thing, right? And then it disappears, and then somebody else just explodes, and then it's standing there, and then somebody else, and then it disappears, and somebody else. This just keeps happening to people after people, and you're just running. That was the nightmare that I told the lady, and that's why she said that I was probably going to other universes. And I'm thinking to myself, there's another universe that has this? Hope it didn't follow me here. Because that's just a little too scary, man. Don't you think?
Yeah. Yes,
Well,
sir.
guys, I got a couple things I got to do. So I think,
it's about that hour.
yeah, we should start
You
wrapping
hear me?
up here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
reach our hour zone. So now next Sunday we're gonna talk about this self-police thing Bruce was telling me about. And
Okay.
and what's going on with that and what's that about. And we're gonna try to focus on that along with what's going on in our very own city.
Okay.
There's some pretty bad stuff going on.
Okay. Well, Adrian, thank you very much for joining in with us tonight. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. Had some good conversation.
If I can ever help with anything, just let me know.
Okay. All right. And Corey,
Been good talking to you
we know
guys.
you're there in spirit, Corey. We can't see you, but we know you're
Thank you.
there.
Adrian.
All right. Now, Bruce, I guess I'll see you next week.
Everybody have a good week coming up.
Yep. You too. And I'll talk to you later.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
And I'll see you later, Bruce. You there? I think he's frozen. Hello? Hello? All right, I'm signing off, Bruce. I'll see you later.